Hey, welcome back. It's Oddie's Airsoft time again, and today we have another review for you. Now, I've been using one of these items for a long time. What we're going to be looking at is the Batlax high capacity electronic winding magazine. Now, before I get into it, I'm going to go through a few rudimentary basics, because there's a hell of a lot of airsoft, especially young guys starting off, that really don't know their arse from their elbow where magazines are concerned, and they all get a little bit confused, and that's allowed because we want to start somewhere. So I'm going to run through this real quick. Now, there's a number of different types of mags out there. Basically, you have low cap mags, mid caps, high caps, and then there are various sort of styles of high caps, and then you have the electronic winding magazines that we're looking at today. But to start off with, a low cap mag is usually something that you'd find on a gas blowback, and it usually can roughly take around 30 to 50 BBs, and that's it. Now, you'll move up then to what we call a mid cap, and these can take anywhere between 80 and 120 rounds. Maybe some even go to 140. Now, I say rounds, I'm talking about BBs. And the only way you can load these is via a speed loader through the top. You press down and they fill in. The great thing about these are that they don't need to be wound, and also when you're in game, if you're running around and trying to be a sneaky sod, they don't rattle. The BBs are held in situ inside, and great little, sort of milsim piece. We move up then to the standard high cap. Now, this is a PMag style, but it has basically a wheel at the end and a little hatch at the top. Hatch is where you fill your BBs, you lock it over, and then you wind up, and you'll feel it get real sort of tight on the tension. You'll hear it click and you'll know that you're ready to go. And basically what it's done is it has rotated a number of cogs inside that's tensioned up a spring, and it's brought the BBs down the feed tube and up into the feed tube where they're going to be released through the top piece here, and that allows you obviously then fire off through your AEG. There's another type of high cap magazine, and these are the Lonex, and they are really special, but you'll pay through the nose for them. Basically, they have a little cord, so you no longer have a wheel, you basically have a drawstring that you pull out. Great thing about this is you will give it about 5 or 6 tugs, and it will empty around 350 BBs in one go. So you don't have to be sort of, winding up as you're in the middle of a firefight. You don't have to keep winding, which is a bit of a pain. So they're your basic mags. So you've got low cap, mid cap, and then you've got your various high cap. And then you have something called the Sound Activated Batlax mag. Now, this is the M4 version. It also comes in an AK version. Now, I've used these on and off. Well, I used them really when I started airsoft first, and I have to say I thought they were fantastic. Really good. How it works is you've got a little trap door here which pulls out, and really what it reveals is a little sort of a holding area for your battery, and obviously the wire and the widget to get it connected. Comes with a little battery pack, and what you do with the battery pack is you take your charger. Obviously it's a 2-DIN, so you need to get a little piece, an adapter onto that, and then you charge it up and pop this in, wire it up, and off you go. Now, how it works is, I'm just going to put back the trap door. How it works is there's a little switch here which, when you pull down, will allow you have it on continuous, so you'll hear the motor continuously whirring up. If you turn it up to the middle section, it turns it off, and then if you turn it up to the top section, it goes into sound activated. And what that does is every time you pull back your trigger on your AEG, it makes a noise. It's the gears and the piston and everything, there's a click. And what that does, the sound activated, there's a little microphone in the hatch here, just where you feed your BBs. On the inside there's a little microphone, and what that does is it tells the system to start winding. So for every BB that you fire, this then goes into automatic wind up, and that's really great, because if you're starting off, you're a bit of a novice, sometimes the whole winding process, it can be a pain, and this is just such a simple way of doing it. It'll take around 200 BBs or 300 BBs in that one, and it'll take about the same in the other one, and it allows you to fill up both, and they feed through. And once this is engaged into your AEG on this part here, this section here can be pulled back and you can just keep pouring the BBs whilst you're in game. Now what I will say, and it's something that is really important, has these little dummy rounds here, and the dummy rounds are, you know, they make it look cool, but the tips screw off, and what happens is when you're in game and these things are motoring along, they unwind and you'll lose them. What I would suggest you do as soon as you buy this model is you take the little caps off, the bullet part, super glue them, stick them back on, and you won't lose them. I lost all of mine through not doing that, so it's a piece of advice that you should sort of listen to. So as I said, this then sort of clicks back into the actual mag, and it's really simple, because in game what you're doing is this sits you into, you just don't take it out of your AEG, and you can just keep pulling back the door here and filling up as you need them. The sound activation on this works really, really well, and to be honest with you, I've never had a problem with it. There's also sort of manual winder here if you have to use it. You shouldn't have to, but if you want to, your batteries go down, you can still manual wind. Now, what I'm going to say next is there's an awful lot of snobbery in airsoft. You'll find that people who are using sort of high caps get looked down on by the milsim junkies who like their mid caps, and then you'll even get guys who are sort of, you know, extreme milsim junkies who like, you know, 30 rounds per mag and like it as real as they can get it, and they look down their nose at the mid cap guys. And you know what? Who gives a flying whatever? All right. Airsoft is about what you like and what you feel comfortable with. There is no right or wrong. If you enjoy using something, then why not use something like this? If you're using high caps or a Lonex mag, there's no reason why you can't use this as well, because they're all in the same ballpark. And I use Lonex pretty much every time I go out now. I also have 12p mag mid caps to my name, and I use them occasionally when I'm in the mood for it. But as I said, if you're in the mood for some real hassle-free mag use, check out the Batlax mag. Now these aren't cheap, they retail around the €50 mark, but what I can say, and I own 2 of these and they've never let me down. I have to say, I think they're real solid pieces. The sort of winding mechanism hasn't failed yet. One thing I will say is when you're opening up the trapdoor to feed your BBs in, if the microphone is in proximity of where the BBs are falling, be careful with it. Just be aware of that. Most of the new ones have the microphone actually built in to the top part here, which is actually sealed within the actual plastic hub of the mag, so you don't have that problem. In the older versions, they used to be loose on a wire sitting inside the door waiting for the noise to come through, but the new ones have it all seated very, very well, and you won't have that problem at all. So as I said, it's a real quick look at a dinky little item. I'm not going to show you how it works because, you know, it's a basic piece and you don't need to see me shooting one of these things. And I have to say, I love them. I think they're really, really great. Not cheap, but then again, a Lonex is going to cost you about 60 odd euro, so this is €50. It does the exact same thing. So if you want to keep maximum amount of BBs on you in a firefight without having to worry about, you know, filling up too much, and you want to keep up to speed with everything, check out the BattleAxe magazines. Well worth a look.